Today we're going to record how to make chicken Parmesan. My kids have requested this, so they know how to make it for themselves, and so that's what we're going to make today. Please excuse my dogs. They are making noise in the background. Can't help it. So you're going to want to take your boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you're going to want to, how they're this way, you're going to want to cut them, split them down the middle, flat ways like this. We're just going to split this all the way down. So we have, see, it's kind of like a heart shape. We're splitting those. So it's a little bit of a thinner cut. So it comes out like a thin piece of chicken, just like this. And you're going to want to do that to all of your chicken breast. Okay. And we are going to, let's see, make sure, and they're really large. So if you have really large chicken breasts like this, you can probably get like 3 servings out of this. Cut them into portion sizes. Now I am cooking about 5 pounds of chicken breast today because I have a big family and a lot of people to feed usually at my house. So that's what we're cooking today. You can definitely, this can just be a 1 pound recipe. If it's, a small family, it can be, 1 to 2 pounds of chicken breast. It doesn't have to be a giant. I just cook in large portions because I have a lot of people to feed. So once you get them all cut up like this, then you're ready to start getting everything else prepared for your topping, the nice crusty flavoring part that's going to go on top. So once you have your chicken cut up, you're going to need to get the rest of your ingredients together, which will be breadcrumbs. I make my own breadcrumbs in the blender. I just toast some whole wheat bread. This is like the ends that no one ever wants to eat. I toast them, and then I put them in my blender to make my own breadcrumbs. I'll show you how. So here we are at my blender, and just what you do is you just take this is just whole wheat toast, and you're going to tear them up into pieces and stick them down in the blender. And run the blender. This is like 4 slices here of toast. And let's just put those in there. Just rip them up, put them in. Let's put our lid on. Nothing spectacular, super easy. And we're just going to run this blender until they are nice and crumbly. And there you go. You've made your own breadcrumbs. You can use store-bought breadcrumbs, no problem, but I like to make my own. I can use whatever kind of bread I like. I can use bread that's going to go bad or whatever. And so, yeah, that's how you make your own breadcrumbs. We are going to put those in our bowl here. We have our ceramic baking dish. We have our chicken. We're going to have our breadcrumbs in this bowl here. There we go. And to this breadcrumb mixture, we are going to add About a cup of Parmesan cheese. Like mine really cheesy. You can put as much as you want. In fact, if you are going low carb or keto, you don't even have to have the breadcrumbs. You can just make this with just the grated Parmesan cheese. Just the grated Parmesan cheese and some garlic powder, and you are good to go. We're going to mix all this together. Like I said, you can omit the breadcrumbs altogether if you like. You don't even have to have those in there. You can do it without the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs do give it a nice texture, kind of like a little crust on top. If you omit the breadcrumbs and just use the cheese, which I have done before, it's not quite the same texture. Still tastes good, but the breadcrumbs give it a nice texture on top. So to this, we're going to add a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt to taste, and a little bit of garlic powder also to taste. I like mine kind of garlicky, so there we go. Let's mix that in. Just mix it all together. Okay. And that's about what it'll look like for that one. Then we are going to come over here and set our oven to preheat at 375. There we go. Get that ready. Okay, so we've got our breadcrumb mixture ready to go. Let's move that to the side. Then what you're going to do, you can use butter or olive oil. It's about a half a cup. I'm going to put the rest of my garlic powder in here. And mix that up. And this is just olive oil and garlic powder. About a half cup of olive oil, garlic powder to taste, however you like it. Okay, so we have our chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast cut up. We have our olive oil with some garlic powder. We have our breadcrumbs, whole wheat breadcrumbs with our Kraft. You can use any kind of Parmesan cheese you want, just the grated Parmesan cheese, doesn't have to be Kraft. And now let me show you how to put this all together. Okay, so this is how we're going to do this. We are just going to take your piece of chicken breast. You're going to dip it in your olive oil mixture, or butter. If you've chosen to use butter, that's fine too. I usually use olive oil. Dip it in your breadcrumb mixture. Make sure it's good and coated. And it will look like this coming out. Just put that over into your pan here. Let me show you close up. Okay, so here's a nice close-up view. Here we go. Just take, here's your chicken breast in the olive oil mixture. Get all the, let the excess oil drip off. And then into the breadcrumb mixture. Make sure it's nice and coated. Looks pretty good. And then we are putting it over here into our baking dish. And we're just going to line them up just like this. Looks pretty good. Okay, here we go. I actually got 2 pans of chicken out of this. This is what it looks like in the pan. If you have some of your olive oil mixture left over, you can just drizzle that on top, which is what I did here. You can see it drizzled on top. Then I also take any breadcrumb mixture that I may have left, and I have a little bit left here. I also sprinkle that on top, just to use up those crumbs, gives it a nice extra coating right on top there. And then because we really love cheese here, I actually sprinkle in a layer of cheese as well on top of my chicken. There we go. Let's see, get it in there. Looks like there's a little bit of a bare spot right there. Okay. So this is what we have in our pan. Like I said, I actually got 2 pans out of this. There's one there. We're going to cover them with foil, aluminum foil. Okay, so I have gotten 2 pans of chicken out of this actually. We're going to want to cover them completely with aluminum foil. We're going to stick these in our preheated oven. It's preheated to 375 degrees. We're going to let them cook for an hour and a half, and then we're going to come back and remove the foil and let them cook an additional like 10 minutes or so, maybe 15, just enough to get a little bit of a brown crispness on the top of our chicken. So we're going to get these in the oven. We'll be back in a little bit when it's time to check them. I'll let you see what they look like coming out of the oven. Okay, it's been an hour and a half. I have my pans of chicken here. And we are going to remove the foil from these pans. So yeah, it looks pretty good. And we are going to pop them back in the oven for about 10 more minutes. And then we'll show you how nice and crispy that looks. Okay, the timer just went off, and this chicken is done. It has a nice crispy coating on there. It looks great. Yeah, that looks wonderful. Okay, so our chicken Parmesan is out of the oven. You can see both pans nice and crispy. And we usually serve this with our favorite pasta and some salad. So I hope this video was helpful. And enjoy your chicken Parmesan. Bye-bye.